Good morning, sweethearts. How y'all doing? It's been an intense 24 hours. I woke up to many messages asking me what the hell happened last night. And I'm not laughing at each of us or the messages. I'm laughing because it was intense. I spent from about midnight to 4 o'clock this morning, literally, for lack of a better way of describing it, going through an intense heart attack after heart attack after heart attack after heart attack. Like 4 hours straight. And now my body is like, my mind is starting to panic. I'm dying. And it's like, I'm just sitting here telling myself, just breathe, Linda. Just breathe through it. Good morning, guys. I love you guys. So, know that if you're having trouble breathing, if you're having diarrhea, if your legs are cramping up majorly on you, if your chest feels like it's about to explode. Ashley, I had anxiety attacks all night last night. Yes. How you doing? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. I love you guys. Sleeping is gonna be crazy, guys. Okay. Let's talk about what's going on. You're hearing there's a lot of information out there about this equinox, about this new moon, yada 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 yada, and so I'll try and cover as much of it as I can. Emotions are running intense. Let's start with the emotions. Let's talk about what's coming up first. All these emotions literally are showing you where you still feel unworthy, where you still have not fully surrendered to your inner guru. And some of you are still having what seems to be energetic vampire attacks, demons attacking you. Guys, right now, what is coming up is, again, that inception point, if you will. Alfred, emotional, yes, visions, different energetic feelings. I cry, miss my angels this morning. A lot of you guys are going to feel disconnection. It's going to feel like you're being disconnected from your archangels, from your ascended masters, from your guides, And you are you are, if you will. And the reason you are is because you're being shown where you're still relying outside of you, even in the sense that you call upon your guides and your angels, because right now we're in a space where your full consciousness is coming into your physical vessel. You don't need your guides and your angels in that sense anymore, if you will. That 3D sense where you had to call up on them. Now, I'm not saying not to call up on them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're disconnecting from the old way of communication with them because you're embodying the full light of your soul, if you will, if that makes sense. And so your interpersonal relationship with your angels, with your guides, with the ascended masters is going to take on a whole different connection, if you will. So I'm not saying don't call up on them. What I'm saying is, again, everything of the old is being put onto a new harmonic frequency. So that's where this disconnection feels like. That's where you feel you're in a space where you're feeling absolute, some of you are feeling absolutely isolated, absolutely abandoned, absolutely rejected. You're feeling like God has abandoned you because you can't connect to spirit. You feel like you're being abandoned, rejected, and denied in every single way, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And again, this planet is for me, it's already occurred. That bolt of lightning has already hit this planet. Now the human consciousness, the human vessels, the physical plane of existence is about to feel that bolt of rainbow diamond light, if you will. Now, sweet ones, it's really helpful to understand your vessels. You all know and have heard that the vessels are crystallining. Now, there's going to be much discomfort over the next 60 hours with this huge light infusion. You have the energies of the solar eclipse back a month ago that have been reactivated in intensity, if you will. You have a new moon. It was amplified by 10, if you will, because of planetary alignments with it. You have the celestial golden gates open until the 7th of April. You have the energies of Easter, Astara, Ishtar, Venus, whatever name you want to give her, rising as the evening star, the rebirth, and we have equinox energies on top of it. We are beautiful, Brandon. Thank you, sweetheart. And so there is a huge infusion of energy coming through you right now, and it's necessary to earth. Hug a tree if you're in deep snow, cold weather. Hug a tree. Sit in the window and allow the sun to come in. Even if it's cloudy, you're still going to get sun. That sun is going to charge your light bodies. Your light bodies do not require much sleep, sweet ones. This is why sleep has been very restless. Your light bodies only require 2 to 3 hours to recharge. Now remember, you're going from a carbon-based density reality to a light body existence. You're really going to see rapid change in your dietary needs. You're going to find yourselves not hungry or craving a lot of sugar. Honor your body. Yet I really encourage you, if you get this craving for sugar or whatever it may be, I really encourage you, before you give into it, to ask yourself, is this something, ask your vessel, is this something you are requiring right now, or is this a template of addiction? The addiction to sugar, the addiction to eating emotionally, if you will. Because remember, that stuff is that darkness, if you will. Condensed light is being totally purged. Now, some of you are having boils in the genital areas, especially between the anus and the yoni opening, if you will. And these boils and stuff, again, your physical vessels are losing or releasing toxins, and especially in the root area, because that is where a lot of sexual trauma, sexual memory is held. And all of that is being purged, preparing for this sacred marriage on the physical plane of existence, if you will. Now remember, all this has already happened, guys. And it just hasn't happened in the awakened consciousness of the human vessel. And that's what's taken place. It's not comfortable for the physical vessel, for the flesh being turned crystalline. And again, your heart is what has carried your heart, and your mind has carried the darkness, the demons, whatever label you need to give it. Your mind carried the memories, the heart carried the condensed light of it. And so that's the walls, that's the chains, that's the binds. So through your journeys and through these light infusions, it has slowly allowed you to release your walls, your binds, your secrets, your shame, your guilt, everything that was the condensed light held within your hearts. Now, the more you allowed yourself to love and the more you healed yourself within, the more you allowed the weight of the past to leave your hearts and you allowed light to take in. Light is literally making your heart bigger, because light expands. Now, if you go back to all the stories about Gaia and Poseidon's children, called the giants, that's where the giants and why everything is bigger, if you will, in the heavenly realms in ancient times, because light is expansive. And so the chest pains, the shortness of breath, the heart attack like feelings is because your physical vessel, which is crystallining into a light body, has to be expanded, because this is your Merkaba vehicle. You're crystallining that Merkaba vehicle. That's your light body form. And that's your transport vehicle, if you will. And so, as you're crystallining it, it has to expand in order to hold light. All light is information. And so your heart is becoming lighter than a feather. And in order to have that expanded heart, your physical chest cavity has to expand to fit that light-filled heart that has now grown bigger. And so this is the heart attack feelings. This is the numbness that comes in the arms. This is the shortness of breath. This is why your heart feels that it's beating so fast. And that is why it's necessary. Your breath, to know how to deep breathe through this, sweethearts, is necessary. And it's necessary to, when these thoughts of fear come in, oh God, I'm dying, this, that, and the other, it's necessary to do whatever you need to do for you, but say, self, take over. No. Breathe through this. I'm not dying. This is just upgrades. I'm being infused with light. Whatever you have to tell yourselves, sweethearts. And really, the more you can make these emotions that are coming up, these experiences that are presenting themselves impersonal. You know, sweet ones, you'll get through this with a lot more ease and gentleness and tenderness, compassion and grace, if you truly can make it impersonal and take away the story. Take away the characters. Yes, I understand it was, Aunt Bev who did this to your mom, but, forgive the character of Aunt Bev. Forgive Mom and see through it, see beyond it, see the energetic templates. That's what needs to be cleared. It's just a memory. That's the baggage that you're holding within your heart, the so-called darkness. And the memories and stuff that come up, they're memories of a past that no longer exist. And that's the old that you're letting go of. And right now, it's at a choice point, because you guys have been on your journeys for how long now? And everything has guided you and brought us to this moment. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for, that everybody has been talking about, that has been prophesizing about, that has been saying it was going to happen this day and this day and this day and this day. And again, that's not that they were wrong. They were all just on different frequencies, different timelines, different dimensions, different paradigms within those timelines, And That's why truth is as fluid as the frequency you hold within. And right now, the focus needs to be truly within you on your frequency, because if it is necessary to enhance your connection to spirit and only spirit. And that's why I say this is again where the disconnection to your angels, to your guides, to your masters come in. Because right now, this is full surrender to spirit. Not to all these that are helping, guiding you etherically, seen or unseen, known or unknown, conscious or unconscious, it don't matter. Right now you are being asked to connect to only the light, that which is known as Father, through your heart, which is Mother. And this is the only way you're going to anchor and totally merge, meld, and bring in the heavenly realms to your physical plane of existence within your individual universe. And so the next 60 hours is going to show all of us, that which we do not have absolute full trust in spirit, the unknown, where we're still trying to control, where we're still loving the physical material world, the physical mortal ways. It's going to show you where those attachments to the love of the mortal world still has control and still dictates your emotions and your life through unworthiness. And faith is the truth of the trust you behold, sweethearts. And if you are in a space where you are not able to trust your intuition, I'm not talking on your gut. I'm talking your intuition. I'm talking your right brain. I'm talking your spirit. If you are in a space where you are not fully trusting that inner voice, not the thoughts in your head, your inner voice, these next 60 hours are going to show you in every single way where you are not trusting that inner voice. Where you are still allowing others to make decisions for you, where you are still seeking guidance outside of you, validation, where you are still competing, where you are still holding judgment. Everything is coming up. Because in a blink of an eye, your realities are going to change, because you're going to go into full engagement of your light body consciousness within your physical vessels. And this equinox is going to show you tangibly. You each will physically, in one way, whatever way it may be, whether it's peace, joy, love, harmony, abundance, twin flame love, whatever it may be, it can show you in any way, or it can show you in one or two ways. Whatever your soul has chosen for you, whatever you have maintained the highest frequency of yourself to, you are going to be shown physical, tangible proof after we go through this golden gate of the equinox. And as we go through this light infusion, sweethearts, how it is going to be experienced is there's going to be a wave of rainbow light that is going to be recognized by all of humanity. And this wave of light, you're going to feel it first before you see it. Then you will hear it, and then you will see it. And it's going to feel... There's already a few of us that have gone through it and has felt it. But it's going to feel kind of like burning needles, like when you get, and depending on the frequency you hold, how much fear you still hold within you, is going to determine how this is experienced by everyone. Overall, what it's going to do from an expanded picture, if you will, what it's going to do is it literally is going to come in like a, when I say a wave, I'm going to refer to it as like a tidal wave. And it's going to bathe everybody. Yes, it's electrical. So it's going to feel like, electric shocks coming through your vessel. Now, it's how I felt it was just no different, a little more intense than what our physical vessels are going through and have been going through on this journey when we go through these intense upgrades. What it will do for the physical plane is it's going to wipe out every energetic template of what is called darkness. Now, physically, you may see ashes, in some cases, and again, guys, it's going to be different for everyone on how it's experienced, because there's 7.8 billion souls on this Earth ship, and every single one of those 7.8 billion souls hold a different frequency, a different timeline that their soul has chosen, a different dimension that their soul has chosen. Now, some of you will, be in the frequency of the 6th dimension. Some will be in the 5th. Some will be in the 12th. Some of us will go back, higher than that. So there is no wrong or right way for this to be experienced. First and foremost, that's helpful to understand. Just because I say it's going to happen one way, and somebody else that has already experienced says that it's going to happen another way, it's helpful to understand, sweet ones. Everybody's decoding and perceiving it in a different way. Now, if you still find yourself going into a space of fear every time you're getting these lights, intense light infusions, that's revealing something to you guys. And that's showing you need to master that, because when this wave really comes in full force, which it is right now, if you go into a space of fear, remember, this is a lot of electricity coming into the magnetic fields of the planet, and that it's going to be more. All right, Father, give me the right words here. It's going to be more intense for some than it is others. Those that are more grounded, that have spent time earthing, that focus on the energy and the feeling of things versus the tangibility of the 5 senses, this is going to be a much graceful, transitory time, if you will. Carrie, absolutely. And now all of humanity is going to feel it magnified than anything. Our minds cannot wrap around what's about to happen. And when I say about to happen, I'm talking the equinox. Now, again, for many of us, it's happened. Well, a few of us. I can't really say many. Sri ones, I really want to touch on something here. There is no one, none of us, that can do anything for another right now. Nothing. We can, you can sit there and say prayers. You can say you're sending healing. You can say you're sending Reiki. You can ask for it all you want. And people can set that intention and send you all the healing and light and Reiki they want. However, divine will is in play right now. And right now your souls have chosen to ascend. And we're ascending right now. We're not in an ascension cycle any longer. We are ascending in full ascension on the physical plane of existence right now. Therefore, ascension is a singular journey. And every soul has made that choice. And so right now, no thing will be allowed to interfere with your individual soul's choice. And when I say that, I want to clarify this because, well, if we're asking for healing and Reiki and this and that, and people want to send it, that is our free will choice. Well, that's your human's free will choice. That's your human aspect's free will choice. And divine will, which is your soul's free will choice, has overwritten that. And your soul is saying at this space and time, there will be, even with the best intentions, because everybody is in a space of massive transformation and energies are discordant within this transformation. Your soul has made the choice, has made the decision that no thing will interfere with this process in this moment of time right now. Therefore, again, I encourage you, sweethearts, if you are seeing posts and people asking for energy, for healing, for light, I encourage you to save your energy and turn it and surrender their pleas that have came across you. Surrender it to the Creator to send healing. Send it to the higher angels, teams, spirit guides. Surrender it and have them administer it with the highest intention for that individual's soul's ascension. Now, of course, I cannot tell you what to do, sweethearts. I can only encourage you. And right now, the greatest gift you can give yourself, sweethearts, is focus within and hear your vessel and strengthen the connection to spirit. Not your angels, not your guides, to spirit and your inner voice. Because right now this light infusion is transforming. If you guys go look in the mirror, you're going to see your vessel is changing. And that's again part of this, the leg cramps and the discomfort in the vessels. When you get leg cramps, immediately drink some water, guys. The second they come on, immediately, if you can, go outside and stand barefoot on the grass. That will, because the leg cramping, the light comes in here. It comes down through your vessel. And when it hits your legs, Aquarius, the energies of Aquarius from this from this solar eclipse back in February is being reactivated now. And Aquarius rules the skin. Aquarius rules the legs and the ankles. And so any energetic blockages, any weakness, any toxins in your skin, all of this is coming up. And the second you can go out when you get leg cramps or you're getting cramps in your ankles and your feet is to drink water and ground, because the energy is now in your legs and needs to be grounded into the electromagnetic, I can't even speak, electromagnetic and geomagnetic grids. And so you got this, guys. I know it's intense. And I know emotions are running high, but right now, sweethearts, truly, this is where your mastery is going to come in. And because how you react to this that is coming up, how you respond to it, you're literally setting your fate in stone. You're creating your destiny right now on how you're dealing with everything that's coming up right now. And again, this is that choice point. This is where you're either going to surrender to your spirit within, and you're going to fully walk through these golden gates at this equinox, or you're going to end up emotionally reacting and choosing fear. Now, right now, you can allow that unconscious to take over, or you can allow your conscious awareness to take over. And that's the choice point each and every single one of us is at. So whether it's rage, whether it's grief, whether it's abandonment, whether it's rejection, whatever it means, sweethearts, whatever presents itself, whatever arises, see beyond the physical presentation. Take the characters away. Allow the storyline to leave. Dissolve the personality identifications and see the energy template. And infuse it with, the rainbow diamond light. Return everything to the light. And again, you guys can, I'm the first to sit here and encourage everybody to reach out. At this space, guys, truly, this is where the true definition of compassion is going to come in. Because what the human has been taught is compassion is codependency. And true compassion is you can be there, but you allow them to go through what they need to go through for their highest good. And right now, even the highest intentions of helping somebody, to the human aspect, to spirit, it could be hindering. And so this is where, those that are going through these emotional disturbances and experiences, be there for them. But I really encourage you not to give guidance, not to give healing, not to give advice. This is their soul's choice point. And the less influence they have from the outside, and even those of us that are in awareness, this is where we have to be very compassionate and gentle, that we have absolutely no influence on another right now. That they truly listen to their own spirit. And the best gift we can give each other and ourselves is to truly allow them to make their own decisions, whatever it may be, without any guidance, any suggestions, any opinion whatsoever from us, because that is an outside influence. And truly, right now, it is mandatory, critical, and necessary that each and every single one of us listen to our inner spirit, and only our inner spirit. Because the human loves the mortal world. Your light body knows its spirit, that it's light. Melissa, is this why I've been pulled back for the last 2 days and been in oneness? Absolutely. All right, let me catch up to some of what you guys have been saying here. I'm going to go quite a ways back, guys, because I know a lot of you have commented and I've missed a lot of it. So be patient here with me. Brandon, happy birthday. Happy solar return, Brandon. Bev, anxiety is very prevalent right now, guys. A lot of it. And again, this is where surrender comes in, guys, because this is the human don't like change. The human wants a plan. The human wants to know. And Spirit is saying right now, I need you to have absolute trust and faith in the knowing within you of my light. And it's asking you to surrender to that. And Spirit is the unknown. Spirit asks you to step into that unknown. And, okay. I love you guys. Alfred, intuitions, absolutely. Thank you, Brandon. All right, let's see here. Why am I numb a lot feeling wise? Harvest, that's, you know, the light that comes in is electrical, guys. And so, you know, it feels like a numbing hot pinprick at times. Or, you know, your vessel, you know, with this expansion of the heart right now, a lot of hot flashes coming in. 1 second you're really, really hot, then you're really, really cold. Some of you are experiencing constipation. Constipation is showing you, one, you're not drinking enough water, and two, the most important is that you're not earthing and grounding into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields. Constipation and bloating are very good indicators. You need to earth, ground. Get this energy coming in, let it integrate, and then get it out and anchor it into the earth. That's anchoring your light. That's anchoring the New Jerusalem in for you. That your new reality, your golden heavenly realms for your individual universes. If you guys aren't earthing, then you're not grounding and you're not pulling in that which has been given to you. You're not pulling down that which the gifts, the miracles, the frequencies of abundance, and everything else. It's necessary. This light encoded infusions are the golden heavenly realms that you need to be anchoring in, grounding into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields through earthing. And if you're not earthing, you know, well, you're allowing so much to well, whatever label you need to give it. Okay, let's keep going here. I love you guys. I truly, truly do. I felt like my body was on fire a couple weeks ago. Yep. And Carrie, you're probably going to be feeling that within the next 60 hours. Brandon, you reap what you sow. Yeah, you can look at, you know, everything that's arising right now is literally your full karmic return energies. You know, that's of this lifetime. Okay, let's see. My energy, Lisa, you say your energy is low. Honey, if you can, spend some time in the sunlight. 20 minutes at least a day, guys, is going to really keep you guys energized, because the sun is what charges your light bodies. And right now, you're going into full light body right now. Full light body consciousness. And so, again, the discomfort in your vessels, the more time you can earth out in nature, spin out in nature, hug a tree, and be in the sunlight. Even if it's cold, you can sit in a window and have that sunlight come in. Even if it's cloudy, those rays still come in. And so, Lisa, spend some time in the sun, sweetheart, and that's going to help energize you. For those of you who use essential oils, put some lemon. Get some lemon and put some lemon under your nose right here. And you will find that will also help energize you. Lavender on the third eye and lavender on the throat chakra as well. That will energize and help balance you through these. Patchouli, very good as well. Okay, let me keep going here. You have spoke to my heart, because I cannot do the same things for others as I typically would. Latisse, did I say that right, beautiful? Okay, let's see. Okay, where am I going? I love you guys. Or place your foot on something cold, grab ice pack or cold. Absolutely, Mary. If you can't make it outside, when you guys are having these hot flashes in your whole body, in the men, when you get these, now you know what women go through when they go through menopause. That instant hot flash and you break out in all these sweats and everything else. That's what we go through when we go through menopause. Only we go through it not just for a few minutes, we go through it for months and months and months. And so when that happens and you guys are feeling on fire like that, or when you go through the space of you're feeling really, really ice cold, take a lukewarm bath. Not hot, not cold. Lukewarm. And that will help. That will help. Sandra, this is the fork in the path. It is, truly. Melissa, I think I answered that. Is this why I've been pulled back? Harvest, I can't think around other people right now. I become numb with their issues. And then you go into in harvest, and then many are going through what you just said, and then they're finding themselves in a space of guilt. Well, I really should help them, and right now you have to honor yourself. I had to do that with a gal yesterday, and it's like, I'm sorry, right now I am being activated. I need to go sit outside and ground. I can't help you right now. You're going to have to breathe through this, sweetheart. And I felt bad, and I really had to observe that, and it was like, wait a sec, this is that save the world template. This is that guilt, and this is that sacrificing ourselves for others, and that's that template that has to be zero-pointed. We have to put ourselves first, because if we put ourselves last, we're putting Gaia last, and we're putting the collective and humanity last. And so it's necessary that you honor what your vessel needs from you right now before you go out and try and help stabilize and ground others. I hope that makes sense right now. And that truly is compassion, guys. Compassion for yourself and compassion for honoring their soul's choice, even if their human isn't liking it very much. We're not here to honor the human. We're here to honor the sovereignty and the divinity and the light within all of us. We're not here to honor the ego. We're not here to honor the emotions of another. We're here to honor their spirit, to see beyond the physical presentation, to see beyond the emerald eyes and the red hair and the pink skin. We're here to see the purity, the holiness, the divinity, and the sovereignty of their soul, not the presentation of the humanness. And right now, when you can keep that in your forefront, is this honoring their human, or is this honoring their soul? Is this honoring my human, or is this honoring my soul? That's everything is choice point right now in every breath. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Clogged sinus and so thirsty. Okay, your sinuses are directly tied into your throat chakra, guys. Your throat chakra is all about speaking truth. Standing in speaking not the humanness truth, but the truth of what your inner guru, your spirit, father and mother share with you. To live that truth, to speak that truth. And the throat chakras are being highly upgraded right now. Okay, I think I covered everything. Sea love, are we to earth with the vision of the new earth? See, as of January 1st, sweethearts, you guys stepped into the reality frequencies of the new earth. So, if you do not... How do I put this? Yes, see. Just say yes. You guys, you're seeing New Earth. You're living on it. You're breathing it. The physical world just hasn't necessarily caught up. Well, that's about to change. So, are we to earth with the vision of the new earth? You know what I do? See, I'll share with you what I do. When I come out here and sit or lay on the grass, whatever, whether it's in the middle of the night or middle of the day or whenever, I sit there and say, okay, Gaia, let's dance, beautiful. How may I be in service for you today? Flow through me, speak through me. That's what I do when I earth. But now, I don't have to go into meditation and visualize beams of light through me either, like many are still in need of doing. So do whatever you're guided to do, whatever works for you. For me, I go into a space where I literally go into and connect to her consciousness, and every time I'm out earthing, if you will, I am in deep communication with her. There's no separation between me and her, if you will. And so do what works for you, see. Sweetheart, truly. If you need to visualize that you don't see it through your humanness yet, you don't see new earth, then visualize it. Bring it in. Anchor it in until your physical senses are living that, and you're seeing that vibrancy. You're seeing that frequency. Anchor it in. So if you need to visualize that, do whatever you need to do for you. For me, I see it already. I mean, I don't see the physical, and I haven't for a long time. And again, everything is a frequency where people say, how can you just dismiss pedophilia and all this? Well, in the frequency I reside in, and is my physical reality, that stuff doesn't exist in my frequency. And so if that is what you're still physically experiencing, then keep pulling down the higher frequencies into you. Keep bringing in more light and anchoring it in. Because that's how you're going to change your universe. You are the universe. Universe is you. How you change your physical reality is by the light that you allow through you. Simple as that. And that light is a frequency. So that all this light that has been bathing this planet is coming in, and then it activates and integrates into your cells and everything else. Then where does it go? What do you do with it? Well, it's either going to leave your vessel in one way or another, and you just missed those frequency of all those light encoded filaments because you didn't earth them or ground them into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields. And if they don't leave your vessel, then they stay in your vessel and gets as stuck energy and creates diseases as in energy blockages and this, that, and the other, and you end up short-circuiting or implode your vessel. Now, and then the third option is you ground it in. And that's really what you want to do. You want to ground it into, anchor it in, engage it into the electromagnetic fields and the geomagnetic fields of the planet. That's how you bring in the fifth dimensional frequencies into your physical reality. Okay, Harvest, I see what you say. Oh, let me rephrase. My son-in-law was to be in a bad car accident Friday. I cared but didn't get scared. I didn't panic. I became numb on whole thing. He's okay. Went to help out on Saturday. I burned hard-boiled eggs, the water, and timer. Was not sure how I forgotten why it didn't matter. Okay, Harvest, that's a really good way of putting that, because that shows you. Let's see beyond the physical presentation for a minute, okay, beautiful? That shows you didn't care. One, that means that you have are in a space of fully releasing your attachment to the mortal world, to your love for the mortal world. One that, in other words, you have fully allowed yourself to surrender to spirit. 2, the burnt hard-boiled eggs, the water and timer. That shows you, because you didn't remember, that's showing you the fluctuation of the different timelines that's going on. Now remember, many of us have said for a long time, there is no above and below, it's all simultaneously. It's the above really is just, and the below is all just a matter of frequencies, if you will. That, you spiral up or you spiral down, one or the two. It's a dance. And you have every single one of your dimensions, your timelines, your paradigms within those timelines and dimensions, and those parallel universes all simultaneously going like this. So some of you in your dream time or in your visions, you're finding yourself, in a space where, Braveheart, you're finding yourself in visions where you're seeing it almost like it seems like a whole bunch of TV screens or computer screens, and you're seeing, different things. That's because in dream time, your soul is choosing which timelines it wants to anchor in as far as its next experience, if you will. So you're becoming non-attached. Now, it's not that you don't care about your son-in-law, or the fact that, that you didn't care, he was fine. But you've released the emotional attachment to the personality identification of the characters. You've reached a space where you have become into your divine frequency of non-attachment, non-emotional attachment, which therefore you're literally giving them permission to play out their experiences per their soul's choice without any interference of you. It's not that you don't care about your son. That's just like my children. None of my earth children talk to me. And does that mean I don't love them? I have 2 boys and a girl, and I have 7 grandchildren, and I love them deeply. However, ascension is a singular cycle, and it's not that we don't love them because we're not emotionally attached to them. It's that we have stepped back and we're honoring them, and we're honoring ourselves by not having that emotional attachment and allowing ourselves to have a truly unconditional, selfless non-attachment with them. Okay, Sandra, I am going through that right now, and I can't help him. I was sick all night, and that I was having a stroke just thinking of seeing him today. He is going to make me feel guilty. Sandra, sweetheart, can I give you another lens here? Let's observe your statement. He is going to make me feel guilty. Sweetheart, nobody can make you do anything unless you allow it. So, beautiful, if you choose to feel guilty, then you will feel guilty. Again, showing you a template, giving you opportunity to transform and neutralize that template and turn it into something, for the highest good of both of you. So, I encourage you to observe that. Take his face off of he and put your face on there and say, okay, self, reveal me to myself. Everything is about you. It's never about the other person. And if you don't want to go, and these are the little white lies. This is the distrust, guys. These are the little white lies that we tell ourselves and we tell each other. These are the inauthenticity that shows us where we're not speaking the truth and standing in the truth of the purity and in the integrity and the truth of who and what we are at our soul's level. He is going to make me feel guilty if I don't go there, and I know I should not. Well, you can see the battle between the mind and the heart right there in that one sentence. You know, and again, this goes back to what I was stating earlier about, you know, really observe, you know, like, and honor thyself. You know, when I told that girl, I can't help you right now. I gotta help myself right now, you know. I need to go ground. And then that guilt came up. And so, again, guys, the more Sandra, where you sit there and saying, I know I should not. Well, if you know you should not, why would you abandon, reject, and deny yourself and go against that? And put yourself in a lower frequency of guilt. You know, why not, instead of just making up an excuse, again, that white lie deception template, even if you don't, well, it doesn't hurt anybody, it's just to help not hurt their feelings, you know, even if it's not the full truth, there's truth in it, it's still deception. It's still not standing in the truth of the purity and the holiness and the truth of all that you are. And, you know, we're not here to baby the human ego. We're here to be the light. We're here to be the truth. And if you can't be true to yourself, you're certainly not going to be able to be true to anybody outside of you. It's simple as that, guys. And you know, I'm going against my own advice when I sit here. Look at, I'm answering your questions after I just got done saying don't listen to anybody. You know, don't give advice. Thank you, Creator, for showing me my own error. I love you guys. So, okay, where else am I at here? What did I miss? Guilt of not helping somebody. And we can't have that guilt, guys. We cannot. I think I answered everything, guys. So know that all of this is part